What's up guys, it's Chad with Living the Van Life, and right now I am way out here in Skagway, Alaska after making my journey all the way up British Columbia, through the Canadian Rockies and into the Yukon, where I found myself a little detour route down here to Skagway, Alaska. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this adventure as we start out on day number 6 on this journey to the Arctic. Let's go see what kind of crazy stuff we're going to get into in the mountains way up here above Haines, Alaska. Waking up here this morning in Skagway, Alaska. I'm gonna jump on a ferry, which is part of the Alaska Marine Highway, and jump over to Haines, Alaska, which is about a 1-hour ride down the inlet here. And then from Haines, I'm gonna jump on the Haines Highway and take a trek up through some of the Alaska mountains on my way back to the Alcan Highway. So looking forward to a bit of a ferry ride. This should be a unique experience, getting the Sprinter on a ferry and checking out some of the Alaska coastline. Well, here we are. We made it onto the boat. This is going to be home for the next hour as we cruise down the inlet to Haines. Pretty cool to be able to put the Sprinter van on a ferry, get the true Alaska experience. Well, and just like that, we have made it across the ferry line over to Haines, Alaska. I'm gonna cruise into town, probably hunker down there for the evening, and hoping for some clearer weather to break as I make my trek up the Haines Highway. It's supposed to be some pretty spectacular views of mountains and such, so I would hate for it to be all socked in and snowy when we make that trip. So let's go check out Haines, see if we can't hunker down and let some weather clear up for our trek. Oh my my goodness. It's been super cold and blustery outside. The wind was shaking the van all night long. Stickers. It actually got a little bit chilly inside. I had to get up and put my hoodie on. Have you guys seen these hoodies? They're actually for sale over on the online store at livingthevanlife.com. Have you guys been over there? As I like to say, don't be a fool. Stickers. Be cool. Livingthevanlife.com. You guys are always curious about the different gear, the different stuff that I use here on the channel. I got a whole Amazon store of a lot of those goods that I use here on my adventures. So if you're interested, stickers, go check it out. But on the online store, we've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got a whole bunch of stickers. Stickers. Like this one. This is one of my new favorite ones right here. Stickers. It's the Baja theme. We got the colors, we've got the cactus in here. It's one of my favorites. And of course, stickers. Who doesn't love the old Vanagon? It's a crowd favorite. We ship these things all over the world. It's pretty crazy. The old Vanagon Living the Van Life sticker. And of course, we got the Sprinter van. That reminds me of being out in the desert with that thing in action. That's a far cry from what we're doing up here in the Arctic. Stickers. All right, guys, with that being said, we're gonna jump out of here, start this day. We've got a trip to the Arctic to make. Let's get back to the action. Good morning, guys. Just waking up outside of Haines, Alaska here this morning to this spectacular view over the Chilkoot River. This right here is the true essence of Alaska. Mountains. Freaking phenomenal. What a spectacular view to wake up to. So very cool. Well, this is the start of the Haines Highway. It heads north out of Haines, Alaska for about a 3-hour trek back up into Canada and the Yukon, where we're going to hook up with the Alaska Highway once again. This drive up the Haines Highway is supposed to be pretty spectacular.
بركة في دنيا حنانا نينا بيجيشي دي بركة بركة في دنيا حنانا بركة في دنيا حنانا يشون كري جي جي في تبك يشون أبي سندي أبي سي رشير أي كوجكا وسوقو أبي سي جي وسوقو أنغو ألالا في دنيا أنينا بيجيشي دي ولا سلام في دنيا حنانا سلام.
After 44 hours of driving, 1,807 miles, I find myself here at Chilkoot Pass on the Haines Highway up here in British Columbia, Canada. This is an absolutely magnificent winter wonderland. The wind right now is treacherous with a temperature of 15 degrees Fahrenheit. that wind chill factor has to be well down below 0. It is definitely crisp out here. Well, I've got myself hunkered down here for the evening. The wind continues to rage outside, and with it being 12 degrees outside, that puts the wind chill factor well below 0. But here inside the van, thanks to the diesel heater, it is a nice and warm 64 degrees Fahrenheit. For tonight's meal, I've got some of my homemade spaghetti sauce with Italian sausage heating up together with some ready-made rice right here in the Instant Pot. I just love making my own spaghetti sauce from scratch. And this recipe that I've been using for my spaghetti sauce comes from my dad's recipe. Maybe not with some ready-made rice, but some good old spaghetti. And every Friday night as a kid growing up, we used to have spaghetti, and that was the weekly treat that we looked forward to. And Dad used this recipe to make his own spaghetti sauce from scratch. So being able to adapt it here in van life and be able to enjoy it way up here in the mountains, it's the perfect hearty meal for way out here where the temps are in the low teens Fahrenheit and well below 0 degrees Celsius. The wind continues to rage outside, but yet here inside the van, it's quiet, comfortable. Made myself a warm cup of tea. I'm gonna process today's footage. It never ends on these trips. It's constant documenting, it's constant organizing, making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, all in a day's work. It's crazy to be up here in these remote mountains. It's 12 degrees outside, the wind fighting to get its way inside, but yet it's home sweet home on wheels out here in no man's land. It's such a surreal feeling to be way out here with a shelter on wheels that we can take anywhere. We've got light, we've got heat, we've got comfort of home, all right here. Can we just take a moment here this morning as I'm waking up and reflect on the experience that I had last night? I was posted up here on the Haines Highway. I was just getting my chores all set and actually getting ready to hit the hay after a long day. Just before I crawled into bed, I figured I'd take one last look outside to the sky to see if there was any northern lights activity going on. And as soon as I opened my slider door, I could see the glow of the sky reflecting on the snowy landscape outside the van. And I looked up into the sky, and everything was just, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was absolutely incredible. I grabbed my camera and went outside and just had one of the most remarkable experiences of my entire life. Anybody that's taken the time to stop and appreciate what the aurora is, they know what I'm talking about. It is absolutely phenomenal. These lights would come in across the sky from as far north as you could see, race over the top of you, all the way down to the southern horizon in just a matter of mere seconds. And they rip and twirl from side to side, just covering an immense amount of space. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many of us, and the fact that I got to experience it firsthand, truly spectacular. I think it's the enormity, I think it's the speed that really just sets the whole experience on fire. Almost to the point where it's kind of creepy. You're standing there all alone, out here in these remote mountains, desolate, and this is all unfolding in the sky above you. It is absolutely incredible. It's definitely enough to question our existence on this planet, in this galaxy, in this universe. But nonetheless, I snapped a bunch of photos. I got a time lapse. Let's go ahead and roll the time lapse and watch this thing unfold. I left Northwest Washington 7 days ago. After 45 hours worth of driving, 1,800 miles, I find myself in this truly amazing landscape. man's land. Talking about feeling small in this world. You stand here amongst these giant mountains and this vast landscape that goes on forever. That right there will make you feel small. And that one time a few days ago when I decided to take a left instead of a right and end up here, this right here is the payoff of taking that chance. And that's the thing with life. You've got to take chances. You got to put yourself in those moments. You've got to create those opportunities. And that's exactly what's happened here today. I've practically got the whole entire place all to myself. I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 cars pass by in the last several hours. So I've just pulled over to the side of the road here on the Haines Highway, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw my winter front on. A lot of people have covers over their grill up here in the far north. Now the reason for that being is because of the cold, frigid temperatures blasting through the front of the van at 60 miles an hour. The engine and the drivetrain never have the opportunity to come up to a proper operating temperature. Even the heat inside to keep myself warm doesn't want to work. So they have what is called winter fronts, which cover a lot of this grill space. Now, after some extensive research online, I wasn't able to find anything that was pre-manufactured specifically for this model of Sprinter van. So I went to the local hardware store, gathered up some materials, and I was able to make my own. Well, and just like that, we've got ourselves a winter front on the front of the Sprinter van. Last year it worked out really well. I'm hoping this go around is going to work out even better since I've come prepared, and we'll see if this doesn't get everything back up to proper operating temperature as we continue the journey north. Well, I'm waking up here this morning in Haines Junction, which is north of Haines, Alaska. This is actually up in the Yukon. We're back in Canada. This is where I catch back up to the Alcan Highway, continue my heading north and west towards Fairbanks. Definitely starting to feel the crispiness coming on for sure. Now that temperatures are starting to get down into the minus temperatures, it's important to start keeping an eye on the status of the van and the different temperatures throughout the van. Waking up this morning at minus 10 degree outside temps. The temp inside the garage right now is 39 degrees. I did install a heat lamp in the back underneath my bed to make sure that that area stays at temperature for the Battleborn lithium batteries to recharge, but that heat lamp is there as a backup in case we get too cold. So everything's looking good as far as that is concerned. If we look here at the back doors, on the windows here, I've got ice built up on the inside of the back door. This is a testament to how well my partitions are working to help keep the inside insulated, because it's keeping the heat inside and keeping the cold outside. So far, all the systems are working as planned, which is important on a trek like this when we're going into some extreme winter temperatures. are back on the Alaska Highway, some 1,925 miles into this journey. This is day number 8. The cool thing is the sense of time has just kind of dissipated. It doesn't really matter what day it is. It doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't matter what mile it is. It just goes to remind me that what is time? Why does time matter? Let's just go out and live life. Let's enjoy the adventure. Let's enjoy the journey. Being able to let go for a bit, go on a walkabout, let yourself free, let your mind be free. Just to exist on this planet and not worry about time. It's a truly freeing feeling. So a little bit of an update on the Starlink satellite service as we continue to travel north out here into this remote territory. So far, I have been overly happy with the performance of the Starlink and the fact that it is flat mounted to the top of my van, so I can use it in motion with my Star Mount Systems mount to be out here and have connectivity, mostly for the safety and survival standard of it. Gives me the confidence that if anything were to go wrong in these kind of conditions, that I've got connection to the outside world and can call for help. I can get in the moment weather updates. If I need to make navigation changes, I've got data to be able to make those route changes on my navigation apps here on the iPad. So for me, it is mostly safety. So far, it's been working quite well in motion. I'm cruising down the highway here up in the Yukon at 65 miles an hour with my Starlink mounted to my Star Mount on top of my rack. And I've got full connection to be able to communicate with people back at home base that are giving me updates and information, which is a unique opportunity in this day and age. 110 miles since I left Northwest Washington. 51 hours and 45 minutes worth of driving. I've been all the way up the length of British Columbia, into the Yukon, all the way across that territory, and now I'm just a few kilometers away from crossing back into the United States at the Alaska border here on the Alaskan Highway. And just like that, welcome to Alaska, the state that puts the size of Texas to shame. No offense to all of you Texans, I know you guys are proud of your state, but Alaska, significantly larger in square miles. The U.S. border crossing marks mile number 1,218 of the Alaska Highway since we left Dawson Creek back in British Columbia. Right now, we've got nothing but the open road ahead of us all the way to the Arctic. Let's see what this adventure brings and what lies on the road ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Alaska. Well, after 2 long days of driving up through some amazing mountains, seeing those spectacular northern lights, marking one of the most special moments in my entire life, I've rolled into Delta Junction, Alaska, officially marking the end of the Alaska Highway. However, we are far from done with the adventures on this trek returning to the Arctic. We've still got 598 miles to go as I tackle the deadly and the treacherous Dalton Highway all the way to Prudhoe Bay, marking the farthest north that you can drive in all of North America. So needless to say, we've still got a hell of a lot more adventures yet to come as we approach part number 4 of this Return to the Arctic series. So make sure and stay tuned for all of these adventures yet to come. With that being said, I'm going to hit the hay for a good night's sleep as I continue to push this expedition farther and farther north. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Peace out. Keep on trucking.